Chair Cagle moves that House File 3176 be re-referred to the Committee on Ways and Means. You have an A1 Author's Amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to move the A1 amendment.
All those in favor of the A1 Author's Amendment say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. The motion prevails. Chair Cagle.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is the bill that would direct Minnesota MnDOT to do get into the corridor ID program for the rail extension services down through Kansas City. And so you'll see in your packet, there is a bunch of letters of support from all sorts of different chambers of commerce and cities along the line. These stations tend to do a lot of economic development around them and kind of bring some of these small cities back to life. And so hoping we can move this bill out. And I do have some testifiers.
Thank you very much. First testifier is Mr. Rigg from Albert Lee. Is he on Zoom? Yep. On Zoom. Mr. Rigg, you've got about 90 seconds if you could please go for it. Sorry to cut you short.
That's quite all right. Ian Rigg, City Manager of Albert Lee. Thank you, Chair and Committee, for having me today. The City of Albert Lee fully supports HF 3176. Our strategic plan looks at creating alternative transportation mods and options for our residents and the region. If a passenger rail line were to be installed from Minneapolis to Kansas City, it would open up many opportunities in Albert Lee and southern Minnesota. Where there are stops along passenger rails, there are new opportunities for economic growth in service and retail industry. There are where alternative transportation exists, there are expanded opportunities for employment and residency. Further analysis is needed to determine the viability of such an opportunity. As part of our climate action plan, strategic plan, and comprehensive plans, efforts to open the community to more travel opportunities is necessary. Approximately 13% of our residents do not have a vehicle for travel, and more do not have reliable transportation for the same safe travel a passenger rail could provide. We hope this committee can support this bill.
Thank you very much. Next up, we have Mr. Dunwoody.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Can you hear me?
Yes, please proceed.
Perfect. Co-Chair Tabke and Co-Chair Kosnick, for the record, my name is Cale Dunwoody, and I have the pleasure of serving as the Vice President of Public Policy for the Fargo-Moorhead West Fargo Chamber of Commerce. With Representative Joy in the room, I better add Hawley to that as well, the Fargo-Moorhead Hawley Chamber of Commerce. On behalf of our over 1,600 members, I respectfully offer this testimony in support of this bill. Really, we believe that establishing a new daylight or daytime passenger rail service between the FM Metro that I represent and St. Paul really embodies our mission by promoting economic growth for our region while preserving and providing a convenient and affordable transportation option for all residents and visitors. The benefits of this passenger rail service are clear, and many station cities have seen significant economic value, often finding returns 3 to 4 times greater than the initial investment. As the fastest growing county outside of the Twin Cities Metro, a consistent and accessible connection between the Fargo-Moorhead region and St. Paul will bolster additional tourism, increased mobility, and overall connect communities statewide. Just with the time, I just want to say appreciate the opportunity to testify before this committee and would encourage you to support the bill. Thank you for your attention to this matter and your commitment to Minnesota.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dunwoody. Next up, we have Mr. Nelson from All Aboard Minnesota. Please state your name for the record and proceed, sir. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, committee members, for being here. I'm Brian Nelson with All Aboard Minnesota. We're a nonprofit citizen advocacy group seeking to expand long-distance passenger rail throughout Minnesota and the upper Midwest. In 2021, when Congress passed the IIJA Act, $36 billion were set aside for federal-state partnerships to advance passenger corridor rail service throughout the nation. This is administered through the Federal Railroad Administration in their Corridor ID program. And in 2022, the FRA advanced 59 applications in 7 states around the upper Midwest. And the reason these states are investing in passenger rail is due to the success that they have seen in ridership growth and fare box recovery for services in their state. For example, Corridor trains defined as 750 miles or less in the Midwest see on average 8 to 12% growth per year, and fare box recovery goes up every year. So this bill would advance these two routes within the state of Minnesota, connecting us to the Amtrak long distance network and a direct north-south connection. And so we urge support of this bill. The Borealis is an example of a corridor state-run program within the state of Minnesota. And in its first year, it exceeded ridership estimates by over 50%. And these are new riders. These are not cannibalizing ridership on the current Amtrak Empire Builder service in this corridor. So, and typically, investment in passenger rail sees for every dollar invested, there's $5 in economic return. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Quickly, Representative Green.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Representative Cagle, for bringing this bill forward. You know, we just had a pretty robust conversation about pro-business and pro-innovation, and I can't think of anything more pro-business and innovation than to bringing rail and connecting regions within our state with other states. And I love the data that you just brought forward. $1 invested is $5 back. So this is a no-brainer to me. I'm a huge supporter, and I'm a frequenter on the Borealis, which is fantastic.
Representative Joy.
Thank you, Chair. One of the things I see in this is we're going to study having a rail from Fargo to St. Paul for $1 million. It's kind of like we were just hearing about the Waymo and the Uber Lyft thing that we're competing, taking jobs away. You know, currently today there's an Amtrak train that comes back and forth. And so I'm just curious about, you know, we're overstepping that. I think spending $1 million right now in the way our economy and the way our budget is, I think I think this needs to be laid over, which I think it is, and I'm glad it's getting laid over because it needs more study, because just spend $1 million right now, not fiscally responsible. Thank you.
Representative Joy, we are moving this to Ways and Means is where this one's going. So we'll have a vote on that. Closing comments, Chair?
Yeah, just to close, I won't be supporting this. We do not have supplemental budget targets, so we're spending money here, and we don't know that our committee will be able to do that. Further, I just disagree with the expense. This is kind of like creep. Give it a little bit of money, and then we have to follow good money after bad money. So I will vote no.
Chair Cagle.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And with the amendment, we're actually, the federal grant would pay for the entire first phase of this. And so, and you're right, we do have Amtrak that goes up to Fargo Moorhead, and this would actually put a second train that goes up to Fargo Moorhead on that Amtrak, so it would still be Amtrak. We just get more service. And so there would be a daylight train now that goes from Fargo Moorhead down to Minneapolis. And so I think, you know, this is good for business. This is good for the communities along the line. And you know what? None of these communities are in my area. So I think when we're looking at Detroit Lakes or Staples, Little Falls, where Fort Camp Ripley is, these are good things for your guys' communities. And so I would absolutely suggest getting on board.
Well done. All right, all those in favor, sorry, I got to renew the motion here. So renew the motion that House File 3128 as amended. 3176 as amended be re-referred to the Committee on Ways and Means. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
No.
The motion does not prevail.